Hello everyone, this is Olya, and I want to talk about the fact that intuition works in both ways. It's not only about receiving, but it's also about sending out energy and information. Usually, when we talk about intuition, we say that it's about receiving tips, guidance, ideas, hunches, and we generally talk about receiving. But the truth is that when we start working with intuition, we start to realize that it's not only we receive energy, it's also we send out energy. And the fact is that we all vibrate at different frequencies. When we're in a good mood, we vibrate one way. When we are in a bad mood, we're in another vibration. When we incarnate as a human, we are one energy. If we incarnate as an animal, we're emitting different energy, and things like that. So, um, in a way, when you start working with your intuition, you may start to realize that actually we are all connected and that basically, in a way, we are all transparent. Transparent. How do you say it in English? I don't remember. Transparent? Yes, transparent. The fact is that because we're all connected and we're all energy, there is basically no real boundary between the way we exchange information, and I mean energetical information. And so when we receive a guidance to go somewhere or meet someone or just do something, it actually means that everybody else's energy is emitting information, intuitive information towards you, and your soul or your guides or source kind of tells you when is the best time to act, when is the best time to do, because, well, everybody knows everything, really. And that, of course, brings us to the point where we start to realize, so now we probably have to live on a whole different level of integrity, because not only I feel hunches, but everybody else, when they tune in, they could feel hunches about me, and they could feel what's going on with me. And even if they don't perceive what's going on with me, they receive the consequences of what I'm emitting, of what I'm vibrating like. For example, let's imagine that someone else is wondering when is the best time for them to do business with you. And you, for example, if you, for example, are going through a difficult time, and if that person tunes in into when is the best time for them, the field of energy will let them know in a not direct way, but will let them know when you are most ready for work with them too. So it becomes really important to understand that how we live really affects the world and really affects others around us, but not in the terms of like you have to vibrate on a very high level of frequency so everybody feels better. No, no, no. I mean is that we're so interconnected that every different way we choose to live our life will somehow influence the world. And that it really matters not only what we say or do, like externally, what steps we take, but also what we do on energetical level. Like if we do something because it makes us feel really good, or we do something out of fear, the energy, the vibration we put out does roll out into the world. And what's interesting about not only listening and receiving intuition, but also sending out intuitive information and energy, is that we can actually talk and connect to other parts of the universe, other participants of the universe. And I believe that once upon a time on planet Earth, and probably in different galaxies, we beings and souls could or can definitely communicate telepathically. That's basically the same thing, sending out energy and being conscious of what energy you're sending out and knowing ways how to hear other people sending you out information through that channel. So, uh, if we apply this to where we're at the time where we live now on Earth, we may notice actually that we can talk and connect to other people, souls, energies, and I would imagine that pretty much anyone watching this video once upon a time have talked to the source, to the creator, or maybe ask themselves about their soul. All of these things, all of these ways of communicating is communicating by, even if we do it with words or writing a letter or any other shape or form, we communicate. And for me, it's also fascinating how people who live on Earth are interconnected, how relatives feel each other, like when your intuition tells something is going on with your family member, or when you can actually connect and talk to those loved ones who are on the other side, who have crossed over. And you can really talk to them and say all these things which you need to say, or ask what you want to ask and receive the answer. And it's also fascinating how when we do any work with our ancestry or a family tree, how uh, members of the of your family can feel you without knowing what they're feeling. I once had an experience when my mother was doing a research on our ancestors, and what was fascinating is that it felt like the whole family tree was interconnected, like an actual connection with branches and everything, because when she would work on a piece on one side of the tree, somebody from the other side of the tree who's alive would pop up and say hi and emerge, and it felt like as if she was touching the tree from one side and everybody else felt the pull from this side. And yeah, it's really fascinating how much we are all interconnected, and how important it is to realize that actually we are energy, and that we are connected, and that we communicate on different levels actually at all times. And that actually means that nobody's ever lost, nobody's ever disconnected, and we're never alone in a good way, even though we still have our boundaries as humans, but we're never alone. And that with developing our intuition, we can not only look for tips and guidance which we receive, but we may start talking to other participants of life too, in the way which makes us feel good. Maybe we internally send like a love note energy to someone who we have been missing for a long time, wherever they're here on Earth or not. Or if we really want to understand ourselves, we may actually try talking to our heart and our soul and communicate to that part of us, life. Or, of course, we can communicate with our guides and helpers of all sorts. So, this is a really fun world when we start working with energy and intuition. And if you would like to explore more of it, please, first of all, talk to your own intuition and connect to your own intuition. But also, you may like this video and subscribe to my channel to stay in touch. And also, you can subscribe to my newsletter to receive intuitive messages and to receive a free worksheet which helps you connect to your intuition. So, anyway, I'll hope you're well, and I wish you a great day, and I will connect and talk to you soon. See you in my next videos. Bye bye!